thanks for joining me. I have a cup that I made yesterday and I'm going to be trimming it today. So I'm just going to show you how that's done. It got a little too dry. I do not recommend waiting that long. I've sprayed it down with some water just to soften up a little bit, but I'm definitely not going to add a handle because it will crack right off. When it gets to this point, you don't want to try to do too much or add too much. I'm just going to kind of soften the edges, and that's we're going to call it good. Before you trim, I always recommend taking both hands and just start engaging like how thick your wall is and how thick the bottom is and how much you can take off. And I really don't need to take off a whole lot. I just want to make this bottom edge look better because I cut it off the bat and it's just kind of rough. So I'm gonna take this edge right here in a little bit and then just smooth it out, and that'll be good. And we're gonna call it a cup and not a mug. And we'll pretend that it wasn't on purpose. And I have a Giffen grip to center it and hold it in place, they're amazing. I highly recommend a Giffen grip. It makes a potter's life so much easier. Any kind of trimming tool. I actually like larger ones better, unless I'm really trying to get a tiny little detail. Larger tend to not dig in and make as many mistakes. When I start, I like to start on this corner and sort of work my way in and then go downwards onto the wall of I just realized I didn't finish my sentence. Down the wall of the cup. Okay, I don't know if you noticed that, but it kind of, it pulled out of place a little bit, which is fine. We're just gonna stop. I'm gonna loosen it, let it resettle, and tighten it back up again. Sometimes that can happen when you have kind of a concave, different edges here where the grips, it kind of does like to pop back and forth if it's not a straight wall. So also probably because my pot is too dry. So another reason. So we'll just start again. Maybe I will not press quite as hard this time. Be a little gentler. I'm going to slowly work my way down this side and then smooth it out. I don't want to go too far because, again, that wall was not very thick and you can very easily get too thin and put a hole right in the bottom of your cup. Slowly working my way down and then back up. Because I kind of like having a nice curvature to that bottom. That looks pretty good. I'm going to call that done. All right, now I just want to make sure this bottom edge gets cleaned up. I will usually start with a small part and start in the middle of your base. And very gentle pressure. Once you get a little bit of clay moved out of there, you're going to slowly move out. Very, very slowly, and it'll start to create a spiral. Some people like the spiral. You can keep it if you like it. I'm gonna do it once again because there's still some stuff to clean up. So start in the middle, slowly move out. I think I might have had an air bubble right there because it's acting really funny in the middle, like. So lots of options for trimming your base. You can trim the center and then actually leave a foot on the outer rim. And having a foot helps it so that it sits flat because it's very likely that the bottom could kind of bubble out a little bit and create kind of a wobble when you fire it. And so having just that little bit of height on the foot will make sure that it will sit flat. I like having this outer edge to be taller, but I don't like there to be a big lip between that base and the foot because that's where the water catches when your dishes are drying or in the dishwasher or on the dish rack. So I prefer it to be, I like having this middle part set lower so that it sits flat, but then it just kind of gradually gets taller and taller. I don't know if that makes sense, but. Oh, so I did switch to the larger end and it just kind of smooths it out a little bit better now that I have it cleaned up. And then I'm going to go to this flat side and really smooth it. And then I'm going to go a little bit on this corner just so it's not such a sharp corner because I don't want it to be super sharp for after it's fired. I want it to be a nice edge. Not super rounded, but not sharp. So kind of in the middle. All right, I'm going to just work on this middle part a little bit more because it looks like there might have been an air bubble. I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit more. Okay, good enough because now what we can do is take a sponge and smooth out the rest. So it's close enough. Wipe those back in. I'm going to take a sponge, any kind of sponge. These are like the elephant ear, I think that's what they're called. And I'm just going to very gently, as it's spinning, smooth it out. You don't have to do this. It's up to you. If you want to keep those ridges, go for it. I kind of like a nice smooth base. Especially if it's something that's going to be used a lot and functional. I like it to sit on a wooden table nicely and slide across nicely. And then I do a little bit on the edge too, where we were trimming, just so you don't, I guess I don't like the trimming marks as much. Okay, let's see how we did. I'm going to open this up. And one thing I like to do is just kind of test the weight, kind of feel it. It's a little heavy, a little heavier than I normally get it, but you know what, that's okay. It'll keep it upright. So then you're welcome to trim your name or sign your name with, I like to use either a needle tool or I have one of these wooden pointed tools. You can just sign your name. All right, thanks for joining me.